There we are. Hi, truck. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I was getting a lot of background sound.
Yeah, truck went by. How about now?
Yeah, you're fine. How do I sound?
You sound great.
Okay, I need to figure out how to record this audio.
Okay.
And I hate changing my audio hijack because it tends to fuck things up when I try to go back to Skype.
Okay, well, tell you what, while you do that, I will start to stream us, if that's cool.
Hold on.
Okay.
You can send me a recording of this?
Sure.
Okay. All right, then I'm not recording any of the audio. So send me the video. I'll be able to rip the audio.
Sounds good.
Because I can't. Yeah, I don't want to. The last time I used Zoom with my recorder, my audio recorder, when it went back to Skype, everything was messed up. And I had to sit with my guest on for like 15 minutes while I worked it out. So,
all right. Well, I'm beginning the stream thing here. I got to enter some stuff. And I haven't done this in a while, but I think, oh, come on, pal. Why is that saying that's not valid? Okay, damn it. I don't know why that's. I mean, I can do that, but that's not going to work. I'm going to try it again because here's the thing. When I do it, it asks for 3 pieces of information and they're all there for me.
mm-hmm.
And I put them in and it's saying, no, really though. There's the key. Okay. I think we're close, which is weird because I just did the same thing. Okay. I'm going to try it again here. I think we're live. I'm going to unmute. Yeah, heck, we are. Okay, we're live. I'm going to put the link up on our Facebook.
Okay.
That's weird, though. It's weird that it's not doing it on my iPad, but it has the red dot. But when I go to my channel there, okay, there it is. The iPad's a little longer. I'm going to, all right, let's do a podcast. Create a post. And
I'm using my earbuds today.
We did it. Join us live now.
You know what I don't like? Looking at
Could you narrow that down?
Looking at people with while they wear AirPods.
Sure. But we get it. You know, they got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Yeah. Well, this, I mean, I have these right now. They're the AirPods remind me of Something About Mary. You know,
Louise, that's pretty specific.
Yeah. Usually when I record on Jay's show, I use these cool things, and they like wrap around my ear, and you can't see them, which is nice So it looks like I don't have stuff coming out of my ears. It kind of blends in with my hair, which is good. But
Okay, I think this is pretty much everything we have to do.
all right. And then I think I need a ring light.
Yeah, I've got all my lights on. I got a couple of extra ones there because I'm kind of used to doing it.
Yeah, you look great. I look like sickly pale. And I mean, I might be. Oh, no, I just blinded myself. I might be, but I feel like there's so much light coming into this room that you would think that some of it would.
Well, I'm sure the back of your head looks amazing.
Well, the windows in front of me, like just off to the right of me. I need to set up mirrors because I only have this much room between my computer and the wall.
Sure.
And I don't know if a ring light would fit, and if it did, you would only get like the top like half.
I've got one of those, but I'm not even using it right now. This is my bedroom. Well, it's also your bedroom too, but it's a real cluster if you take away the green screen and look at it from afar.
Right. Yeah, I'm comfortable with just making the bed every time. I could do backgrounds. Backgrounds could be fun.
And it helps when you've got an actual green screen. Like the green screen on Zoom, if you have a green screen, is perfect.
Right.
I've tried to do it through iMovie, and it's kind of okay. And OBS is pretty good, but not as good as this. So the reason I'm doing, what are we watching here? Nuns. Is that from Airplane?
Yeah. But
I try. Here's the thing. My computer is not good enough to go through OBS and to take in another video file. So
right.
We're going through Zoom, and the only reason that OBS would be better is because before we start, it's got a little switcher board. So I have my Homer Simpson sleeping on the job thing, and then I can fade into us. And then when it's done, I can fade out to a thank you screen, which I really like.
I've been using, okay, so on my Patreon, you know how I do break down the trailers. So I used to just put my FaceTime camera in the corner, play the trailer on my desktop, and do a screen recording of my desktop. That's how I used to do it. Then I got OBS, and I'm like, okay. And I just started learning it. I've never done a live broadcast, but I've been using it to watch the Flash Gordon serials on my Patreon show. I need to learn how to use that more so I could do live streaming. So,
yeah, I did a number of YouTube videos, like how-tos, and sometimes they really help.
Right. I think Jay, when on his show, he uses StreamYard. Okay. And he seems to be able to just like pop stuff up and move people around in an instant. I don't know any of that stuff.
Okay, so it doesn't have the chat on my iPad, but it does have the chat. I brought it up on. So Danny Bell's here, Otto Hewer is here, Hackman, Minnesota, Trenton Quarantino, who I don't know who you are, but thanks for joining us. Do you know who Trenton Quarantino is?
No.
Quarantino.
Unless there's I've run across so many usernames, so I'm usually familiar with people's usernames as opposed to like real names. Sure. So I might know them by something else. I don't have the chat up. So if there's anything chat related, just let me know and I
will, yeah.
And that'll help with the audio version too. And I would say that to folks who are listening to the audio version, we are currently recording live on Twitch through Kevin's account. That's twitch.com/Kevin Kittredge. I believe that's what it is.
That's I'm sorry, twitch.tv/Kevin Kittredge.
That's right. And then maybe I can take the video and put it on the YouTube page and on allrightpodcast.com. I think we can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the only negative about this, it does have the Zoom logo in there, which I mean, it's good. We're using it. So good job, Zoom people. I do pay the $15 a month just in case anything goes over. I'm trying to plan something with my sketch group. We're trying to set something up the next few weeks.
It's coming up.
$15 a month. That ain't that bad. So there is a reason that I am suited up and I'm not just looking like a normal dude. So my girlfriend and I planned a trip to San Francisco for New Year's Eve many weeks ago.
Right.
And especially as LA became the hotspot for COVID, we were like, yeah, it'd be nice to get out of here for a couple of days. So we drove up, and the day before we drove up, I have a commercial agent. I just have not heard from them in over a year. And there was I got a message that said, hey, I got an audition for you. And I was like, oh, okay. And it's a Zoom audition and it's tomorrow. And I'm like, well, shit. So I drove up to San Francisco and we did it from the hotel room. Hello, Joe, Joe's Daily Games. He says Discord might be better. Maybe he's right. Maybe I should play with that a bit. But we get up there and I do this thing for a commercial. It would have been like 30 grand if I got this commercial, and I obviously didn't get it. But it was for an alcohol company. Fuck it. It was Jim Beam. It was a Jim Beam company commercial.
Ooh, okay.
And so I get these notes and it says, it's like, it keeps comparing it to that Matthew McConaughey, his commercials where, he's talking cool. You're a bartender in a bar and you just, you're just talking to your friends and it's really deep and whatnot, but you're not acting. And I keep thinking, all I can think of when I watch those goddamn Matthew McConaughey commercials is you are sure acting a lot. So it kind of fumbled with me. I did get 2 chances to do it. They gave me 2 shots and they said, okay, great, thanks. And then I never heard from them again. But it would have been nice to have a big
that kind of money. Yeah.
So after that, I was like, you know what? It would be nice to talk to I guess a new person bought this agency. And so I had a Zoom talk with my agent at noon today for the first time ever. And she was very nice, and we'll see how things go. Cool. So that's why I'm dressed. I mean, obviously I've had plenty of time to change it, but why not? I didn't have the Doctor Who third Doctor background though. I had a white sheet. Okay. How was your New Year's? I'm assuming you guys just chilled at home like normal, like every other day.
Yeah, pretty much. It was that, and I rang in the new year. It's been a couple of years, but I watched all 6 Lord of the Ring movies extended on New Year's Day.
So how long is that?
Let's see. I started at 7 a.m. And ended around 7 p.m. I think it's like 13 hours. Cut out the credits. As soon as it said directed by Peter Jackson, boom, on to the next one. And it's nice because I think the last time I did this, I had to get up and change out a disc, not only for the movies, but because they're so long, halfway through the movie, you have to swap out to the next disc. So that was nice. Saved off a minute or two.
I don't remember what podcast I saw you talking about this on. Cyrene Shane 1. I don't know who you are. Hi, Cyrene Shane 1. Thanks for joining us. Ring a bell, Ralph?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
But I heard you talking about
bad. I feel so bad.
Listen, thanks for joining us. Maybe we'll get to know you. But I heard you talk about that. Oh, I didn't have to get up after 3 hours of watching a movie. And I just thought, maybe it's not a bad idea to get up after 3 hours.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I got up, I literally woke up at like 6:58 in the morning. I got up, went into the front room, turned on the movie, went to the bathroom, got a drink of water. So it was just playing.
Sure.
I'm just glad that when the disc change times came, I didn't have to get up and change it. It was smooth sailing. But I didn't, I didn't sit there and watch them. I played some Animal Crossing, looked at some comic books. It's just kind of on. Because you're not going to sit there and watch 12, 13 hours of movies. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of the holidays too, we were talking about how Wonder Woman came out on Christmas Day, and it's weird just for you, I would imagine, because you've already talked about Wonder Woman on one of the other podcasts, and I don't
Two
know,
podcasts.
two other podcasts. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it on Patreon with my friend Eric, who writes for Nerdist. He's the biggest Wonder Woman fan. So I'm like, hey, let's do this. And then Jay wanted to talk about it on his show, Screen Geeks. And I'm like, fuck, I already talked about it. But okay, sure. We could talk about it again. Did you see it?
I did. I mean, we don't have to go far in depth, but I mean, I thought it was fine. I
Yeah.
wasn't hugely into it. I was kind of dozing out a couple of times, like kind of not
Yeah.
paying attention, and that's when I should have been paying attention, because I didn't realize that Chris Pine had taken over that guy's body. I
Mhm.
was just like, oh, I guess he's just here now,
Right.
and I guess he has an apartment. And then it was making sense. It makes sense. Everybody who's like, this is rape, and I'm like, well, it kind of is, isn't it? Okay.
It's just
Right.
weird. The whole,
It's weird.
like, why can't you just have him come back?
Yeah, every other wish, you had that wall come out of nowhere and all this other stuff. But
Yeah. Just
what did your biggest Wonder Woman fan ever seem to think about?
he's same fun stuff, boring stuff, too long, no 80s songs, all that stuff. Like, it's like, why? I don't understand half of the decisions made in that movie. I don't think you need both Cheetah and Maxwell Lord. Keep one or the other, but it didn't make sense to have both of them. Maybe you have Kristen Wiig in this one to set her up for the third one, maybe, but just I don't know. It seemed the whole thing seemed strange. Like, what kind of hero would choose a man over the fate of the whole world,
Yeah.
especially Wonder Woman?
Especially someone who's died already, and you're lucky to
Right,
have him back for what you have.
right, right. Yeah, it's I don't know, man.
Hackman calls you the Podfather. I think that's reasonable. I think you're the Podfather.
What does that even mean?
It means that you're the godfather of podcasts. Put them together, Ralph. Danny says he wanted it to be good, but it was a huge ass mess. Also, they made a mockery of Maxwell Lord, who could have been the big bad for the whole DCEU if you stuck to the comics, which I don't know anything
Right.
about the comics, but it sounds like similar to what you were saying.
He's kind of he's on the level of
You got to say
Lex
Lex
Luthor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we already have our Lex Luthor. DC. Excited about Black Adam though. Whenever that's getting made.
Has anything new come out of that besides
Nah, nothing. It's happening, but we don't know when. So, hopefully soon.
So where are you in Star Trek?
Where am I in Star Trek? This is exactly what I want to talk about. So, I watched all of Star Trek, the original series, and I watched all of the movies, but somehow missed Insurrection. So this might be a good week to watch Insurrection, if you know the title is.
Oh, geez, I didn't even think
timing.
about that.
Wow. I understand. Here's the thing. I watched the first like couple episodes of The Next Generation, and I understand it picks up at season 3, but I didn't want to jump straight into season 3 and skip 3 whole seasons, and B, I was really bored by Next Generation, and I'm not the biggest fan of the characters of The Next Generation. I like the original series crew movies more than I liked the Next Generation movies. But I haven't seen Insurrection yet, but I heard that's not terribly great. So what I did was I skipped to a show that I watched a little bit of when it first came out, and that's Star Trek Voyager. And I am on season 2, I watched one this morning, and that was episode 8. So I'm coming up on episode 9, I believe, or possibly 10. I don't remember. So I'm watching Voyager. So that's where I am. So I'm sure I'll get to Next Generation. I might either watch that next after Voyager, or I might watch Deep Space Nine after Voyager. But I'm going to get through all of it eventually. It's a little out of order, but I don't think it matters too much. I feel
Right.
like the shows don't really do a lot of overlapping.
Well, in regards to the movies, I remember I saw something and I didn't even interact, but this is months ago. One of, I don't know if it was Star Trek, the actual Twitter account, or no, it was probably a Friends podcast or something, but they had tweeted out, say something good about Star Trek Into Darkness. And you said, I liked it better than The Wrath of Khan.
Right.
I was like, all right. Okay.
I had one friend, Robin, who in the tweet response was really, really trying to bite his tongue. And I could tell. Here's the thing. After watching, because I hadn't seen Wrath of Khan in like maybe 20 years. And 20 years ago, I had the same problems with it that I do now. After watching the entire series and Star Trek the Motion Picture, I have a new appreciation for the Wrath of Khan, but I still have an issue with the Wrath of Khan, and it's a pretty big issue. I'm not going to say that after this viewing that Star Trek Into Darkness is better. It's obviously not. And I don't even think I like it more now than I did. So that view is switched. I think I like Wrath of Khan more, but I still have a major issue with Wrath of Khan. I don't have any problems with Into Darkness, but I'll talk about those in a second. The Kelvin ones. My main issue with Wrath of Khan is, and I think I've mentioned this before, is that the Enterprise is never really in like danger. It feels like the entire movie, anytime Khan does something, they thwart him right away. And then he attacks him again and they thwart him right away. There's never really a part where Khan wins. And I know at the end when Spock is in the reactor chamber thing, that's not a victory for Khan. That's just circumstances. You know what I mean? Like Khan didn't do that to Spock.
Well, didn't him shooting the Enterprise have to do that with Spock?
But it wasn't like Khan was like, I'm going to make Spock die by doing this. Like Spock just went in there on his own. But what I'm saying is, it's like Khan, throughout the movie, every time Khan does something, the Enterprise wins the battle. There's never a back and forth. It's always the Enterprise winning. And that drives me nuts. It's this, there's no drama.
Okay, well, I think that lends to when Kirk is frequently told, the Kobayashi Maru is set up for you as a test to see how you handle failure. And he says, I don't believe in a no-win situation. And the whole movie, yeah, he does escape, except the end, he loses his best friend. And it hurts him more than anything else could have.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is there's not really a lot of drama. It's like, let's say you're watching Halloween. You're watching Halloween and Michael Myers goes after Laurie and she gets away. Okay, cool. And then he goes after her friends and they get away. And then Michael Myers goes after a different friend and they get away. There's nothing in the movie where Khan gets the upper hand. And I feel like Khan should get the upper hand. Just because Spock dies has nothing to do with Khan. Khan did not directly put Spock in that situation. Anyone could have walked into that chamber, is what I'm saying. Like, it's not Khan's supposed to be super smart and this crazy foe, but he constantly loses.
I mean, this is a hard disagree here. This is a hard disagree. Yeah. I think again, it's yes, we survived. Kirk did it. Ha ha. I cheated death again. Boom. Whoa, my best friend's dead, and there's nothing I can do about it. And so check it out. So okay, so there's that death. There's Spock's death in Star Trek 2.
Right.
That everybody, most nerds think, oh my God, that's so amazing, this amazing scene. Then we come to Star Trek Into Darkness. And what happened for me when I watched Star Trek Into Darkness in the theater, and this parallel scene started to happen with Kirk dying instead of Spock. And I'm watching this and I'm like, are we doing this? Are we really? And then definitely we're doing this. Definitely doing this. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're doing this. And I was like, all right with it. And the second time I watched it, I went, fuck you. You have not earned this. You don't get to take one of these greatest scenes in Star Trek history and then fuck around with it. I hard disagree.
Yeah, I'm fine with Star Trek Into Darkness because I don't have, however many years of Star Trek, I haven't been following Star Trek for that long. I saw Into Darkness before I saw any of the original series. But can we agree that Star Trek Beyond is fucking awesome?
I really enjoyed
I love Star Trek Beyond. I might even like it more than the 2009 Star Trek. It's Star Trek 2009 is great. I think the casting is perfect in those J.J. Abrams one.
I can't think of any iconic moments in that movie though, in Beyond. The only thing that really hits me is in the very beginning where the aliens are, Kirk is trying to get these little aliens to do something. And they're like, these other guys, they suck. They're trying to kill us. They're going to do this. And he goes,
right.
I don't think that's true. And I've said that before because that's exactly how I would have said that. And I laughed a lot because I heard myself and Kirk, which is
the part which I'm sure got a lot of either eye rolls or people loved it was when they're in the Franklin, the USS Franklin. It's like an old ship. It's like a old Federation ship that has like gas powered motorcycles in it. And it's got like old MP3 players. Is when to help get through the barrier of the bad guys and their ships, they have to distract them with loud noises and they play Sabotage.
Oh, that's right.
Which I thought was fucking awesome because it was spaceships flying around to Beastie Boys blowing shit up. I thought that was cool.
Back to 2009 too.
Right. Have you watched the Orville?
I love the Orville.
Yeah, there was a similar scene in that where ships were fighting in space to Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. And that was fantastic.
A friend of mine is one of the VFX producers on that. And I guess they were like going all day, all night because I think that was the big ass battle, right?
Yeah.
And it was fun to see. What's his name? I don't even know.
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, Seth. Like she had tweeted out, working hard to get these VFX, and he like retweeted. He was like, "You guys are doing a great job," which was neat to see.
That was the whole reason why there was a delay on season 3, and season 3 still hasn't come out. So I think they just started shooting season 3, which I'm excited for. But yeah, Star Trek, I've been enjoying it. I'm glad I made it through the original series. I think if anybody who hasn't seen the original series wants to give it a shot, I highly recommend just barrel through like the first 5 episodes. The first 5 episodes of the original series are all very similar, where there's someone aboard the ship who's not what they seem and they're evil and they need to kind of investigate and track down who this menace is on board the ship. After that, you get all kinds of cool like scenarios where there's space monsters and planets to go out and discover and species and cool like storylines. But I've always tried to get through the series. I never have, but if you can make it through like the first 5 episodes, the rest is really good. And I love Spock, Kirk, and McCoy, those 3 guys, like really. And I know like in the original series, a lot of the epilogues of episodes was always goofy. Those 3 guys kind of ribbing each other.
Yeah.
and it's never funny. I'll say it's rarely funny.
It's
But
1960s funny.
it's like Batman and Robin, like goofy 66 Batman style funny. But those guys were so good as those characters that it made it endearing. And seeing that come into the movies was great. I thought Star Trek the Motion Picture was great. I know that a lot of the complaints are that A, too many shots of spaceships, which I get, and then B, it's Nomad. It's essentially the story is Nomad um, replayed over again. But the whole Voyager thing, I loved. When that happened, when you see Voyager for the first time, I thought that was fucking awesome. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know how Voyager knew his name was Voyager because it was printed on the outside of the ship. Did he go up against the space mirror so that he could see his name was Voyager? But it didn't matter because I really liked the first one. I was very excited to see Star Trek the Motion Picture and then Wrath of Khan. I like Search for Spock. The fourth one was, I know it's a fan favorite, really goofy. It almost plays out like a fish out of water comedy, which was fun. Five, I think, was the one William Shatner directed.
Yeah, that's 5 is the worst.
That was rough, but I still enjoyed it. I don't know, was that the one where Aurora was like dancing in the?
Yep.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was very weird. And in Shatner's defense, they like hugely cut his butt
Yeah.
for the finale, and it showed.
Right, I heard about that.
But it is.
But I mean, you know what? Like, I feel like for me, I was watching those like once a day, so I didn't have to wait however many years.
Yeah.
And then end up with that one. I'm like, oh, that wasn't great. The next one's tomorrow. You know, I didn't have to wait another like 2 or 3 years to watch the next one. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's funny how I didn't realize that the Next Generations ones had like Spock and Chekhov and Sulu and stuff. Like, I was like, oh, I thought they were completely done. I knew that no, Kirk came back, not Spock. Spock is in the other ones, but
Well, Spock is in Next Generation. He's later in the show.
In the movies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm on Voyager. I like the characters on Voyager. The episode I just watched is the first time that Janeway doesn't have her beanbag chair hair do. So that's where I'm at.
Well, I don't know. Do you still have? You've never accessed CBS All Access?
No.
So you should have like a week or 10-day something free preview.
Right.
Discovery's great.
Okay.
I've seen the first 2 seasons of Discovery. I really like the first one. Rosanna and I are watching the second one. She enjoys the second one. And since we started to watch the second one, I was like, I should show her some classic stuff. And so I showed her The Menagerie with Chris Pine. There's so many Chris's.
Christopher Pike.
Yes. So we just watched that one recently. I also showed her the one where Kirk and Spock fight because Spock's
muck time.
He's got horny issues.
Yeah.
And it seems everything that I'm showing her is Spock breaking the rules and going crazy. But that's not general. But
yeah.
When you're looking for more Star Trek and you know that you can start plugging away, Discovery's great.
Yeah, I think I'm at a point where I was thinking about that. I'm like, maybe is Discovery season 2 still going?
3 just ended.
3 just ended. And how many episodes a season?
It's about, I want to say like 14, 15.
Okay. Because I was hoping I'd be able to like get a free trial, knock them all out. And maybe Picard, but I don't know.
Otto says he hopes I showed her City on the Edge of Forever. I have not. I haven't done that one yet. There's plenty of time. She likes them, which is good. She's a bit younger, and she's not a huge nerd like me. So I'm glad she's liking it.
What are you watching those on? Are they on Netflix? Did they have
Yeah, the
the,
original series is on Netflix.
and is it the updated special effects?
It is.
I like them.
They're
I think,
beautiful. I mean, the ship is beautiful.
yeah, I like that they kind of still have a 60s style to them, which is cool. There was one episode I watched where they didn't have the new effects, and I'm like, wow, this definitely looks different.
Yeah.
Um, but there was one I saw where there was a, oh my god, it- I forget the name of it. There was this like blob, this barfy looking blob creating tunnels, and Spock melds with it, and he says no kill or something. Does
No
that one
kidding.
sound familiar? Yeah, I like that one a lot. Maybe that might be a good one to show.
I should go back to the chat here for a little bit because
All right.
especially Danny writes a lot. He's a writer. So he says he's talking about Maxwell Lord. He says he's more of an evil Nick Fury than Lex Luthor. And Otto Hackman's looking forward to Black Adam and the new Suicide Squad with Cena.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and Danny says that's Cena's getting his own series with Peacemaker. That character's an insane mess. He's a Captain America style experiment gone wrong. He has a helmet that keeps the souls of everyone he kills, and his dead Nazi talks to him constantly about how much he sucks. And I don't know anything about Peacemaker, so that does sound really cool.
I know very, very little about Peacemaker. I'm assuming, I have a hunch that all these guys are going to die in the first like 5 minutes of the movie, and the Peacemaker show will be a prequel. That's my hunch. Because you got like Polka Dot Man in the movie, and that's ridiculous. I don't know how much airtime Polka Dot Man needs. He's got a white spandex suit that's covered in different color polka dots, and he can throw the polka dots, and they do different things, I think.
Was this in the Suicide Squad movie?
This is in the comic books, and he's in the Suicide Squad, the next Suicide Squad movie. And he's in the trailer. If you take a look at the trailer, there's one shot of him where you see the polka dots flying off of his outfit. It's
okay.
So I'm assuming all these goofy guys are going to like die right away, which is fine.
Hackman also points out that Jason Alexander played Kuros in Star Trek Voyager. Did you see that episode?
Not yet.
I think I've seen
Not
clips
yet.
of it. Yeah, it is weird to see George from Seinfeld in Voyager.
What's weird is seeing Christian Slater show up in a Star Trek movie. And when I saw
a Star Trek fan, he was just like, listen, can you get me a couple of lines?
Exactly. Just watching it, I'm like, it sounds like Christian Slater. And they had him like silhouetted. And I'm like, it's a fine scene. He does a fine job. It pulls me out of it a bit, but I'm like, dude's just a fan. I can tell he just wanted to be in the Star Trek movie, and I was fine with it.
I forget, do you have access to HBO?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you watch Succession?
We watched half of the first episode.
You couldn't do it?
We put it on too late at night, and we're like, oh shit, I was like falling asleep. And so I'm like, oh, I don't want to fall asleep during it. So we'll watch it a different time. And then we didn't.
We love Succession. And
I know, I want to watch it.
Cameron from
Ferris Bueller.
He's in that, but he's also, well, no, you saw him in that Star Trek movie. He was in
like 3 or 4. So I saw Adam Scott Adam Scott was in Generations, I believe.
I remember that.
Yeah, Adam Scott was in. I was watching it. He is on a Federation ship that explodes like towards the beginning, and he's got a couple lines where he's like at the comm, and he's like, "Where the ship's going down." I'm like, "That's Adam Scott." It was like, I think it was Generations.
That might. I might remember some of that now that you say it.
It was weird. Like, I don't think anyone knew who he was back then, but I'm like, I like seeing people I know in Federation uniforms. Like, I know that like Kelsey Grammer was in a Star Trek. Maybe it was Next Generation.
Well, Hackman just points out, I think you're right, though. I think Kelsey was. Also in Voyager was Ed Begley Jr., Andy Dick, The Rock, Virginia Madsen, Sarah Silverman, and Kurtwood Smith. I don't know who Kurtwood Smith is. Who's Kurtwood
He's
Smith?
Clarence Bodiger in RoboCop, and he's the
Oh,
dad in that '70s show.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe someday I'll be in a Star Trek uniform. I want to be in that's one of my. I just want to be in a Star Trek uniform, and I'll be on.
Do you still do extra work? Do they they probably shoot that in like Atlanta or something, huh?
I think there is. I think you're right. I think you're right. Orville's here. I
Would you
should.
do?
I've been like. I did just re-up my stuff with Central Casting. They actually have a website where you can put in your information, stuff like that. So maybe I'll try to do some more stuff with Central. That'd be great to be on the Orville.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. Like I feel like now, like after watching all of this, like it's weird saying, but I feel like I'm a Star Trek fan, which I spent 42 years of my life actively not saying that. But I think it's fun. I think it's really fun. I want to say that the Orville kind of helped me with Star Trek
Sure.
because I think my main issue with Star Trek is everybody speaks in exposition and in very military cadence way of speaking through like the different ranks.
Well, that's my problem with Deep Space Nine. How much you've watched?
I've watched a couple. It's been
it's like watching a play.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I watched the episode where they went back to Kirk's time because obviously I had to. I have never really. I don't think I've seen an episode of Voyager, but it's pretty good, huh?
I enjoy it. The basic storyline, right?
Is that the one where they're blasted out of? They're super far away and they can't find their way back.
They're like 700,000 light years away from Federation space, and it's going to take them 70 years to get back. So it's them trying to find a shortcut or some way to get back. Meanwhile, they're all living on the ship stuck, and they're, a lot of it deals with time displacements and dimension displacements. But I like the characters. I like the characters on Voyager.
We also have with us Screen Master 5K. That's Ian, right?
Believe so.
All right, thank you, Ian. And also joining us, I didn't know Bob Mitch even. Honorary doctor has to be Bob Mitch. Good to see you, Bob. He says, Bob, your take on Wrath of Khan was killing me. I'm with Kev. Hard disagree. I don't think you're giving Star Trek 2 enough credit because I feel it does exactly what you're saying it doesn't. I would. I want to invite Bob on right now and do a 3-way Zoom, but he's probably not prepared.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll watch it again, I'm sure. Hey, listen, I mean, yeah. But what I was saying about the Orville is the fact that they just talk like people help get me sort of into Star Trek, because I like the stories in the Orville so much. And I know a lot of them were kind of taken and picked apart from Star Trek episodes, that it helped get me kind of used to that sort of storytelling. And so I can get over the kind of military cadence of like the original series and stuff.
Like Norm Macdonald. He doesn't sound like he's in Star Trek. Hey, what's going on?
Right. I love it. Like, that's the thing. It's almost like a little bit of a distraction or something that kind of keeps me interested. It's like dangle shiny things in front of me to keep, to keep my eyes glued on this, heavy sci-fi storyline.
Orville is very Next Generation.
Yeah.
And I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, we did a lot of Star Trek talk, which
I know, it's crazy. But I mean, this is the first time I've done this show after watching a Star Trek. I think our last episode had something to do with Star Trek because I had the Vasquez Rocks, because you visited Vasquez Rocks and I was watching Star Trek at the same time.
Sure. So a couple of weeks ago, you did a thing where you went online. You were like, "Hey, does anybody want to do a podcast like right now?" And some dude said yes.
Some dude said yes.
And I feel like we've talked about it. Have we talked about this?
No, I posted about it. I posted the podcast that I ended up doing, and I've been watching your comments on that.
Okay. So this dude who just decided, yeah, I'll do a little podcast with Ralph, is a guy who is the director of the documentary called The Last Blockbuster,
Right.
which obviously for him, for me, and for you really resonates.
Right.
And I watched it. It was just crazy. It's a crazy coincidence how you don't know that he's directing a movie about Blockbuster. He doesn't know that you're the VHS dude.
And we've been Facebook friends since like 2006.
Yeah. That's great. And you know, obviously I worked at Hollywood Video, Blockbuster Video. I started out at Tidal Wave Music and Video in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, which I really liked. But I did comment. I commented two things on when he posted on your link to it. First of all, how in his documentary he's got like a 2-second shot of a rundown Odyssey video, and I told him that Odyssey video used to be twice as big. Maybe I mentioned this on the show too. It used to be twice as big, and it's a yellow building, and there used to be, I want to say, purple stars painted on the outside of the building, and inside those stars were the names of celebrities that they had VHS porn tapes of. So it would be Paris Hilton and whoever and whoever and whoever, I don't remember who. And this is like over 15 years ago. And one of the stars said O.J. Simpson's lawyer's daughter, who we know now as Kim Kardashian. But I just remember driving past that because my Blockbuster was like right across the street, thinking, how much are we reaching here? But that tape kind of helped build her as a person, for better or for worse. And obviously she's done good things. But it was crazy to see that. And they broke street data a lot. We'd be coming in, they'd be like, customers would be like, yeah, do you have this movie? I was like, well, we do not. Well, they have it across the street. I was like, well, shit. So there were a couple of times where I went incognito and I set up an account at Odyssey Video, and I rented this movie that was not supposed to be out yet. And I would make a copy of the receipt, and we would fax it into corporate, and they would get those guys in trouble. Is it the big guy squashing the little guy? Maybe a little, but they were breaking the rules. Can't break the rules, for Pete's sake.
There was a company, or there's a store here in Anaheim that did that. The stuff would come a week early, and they just throw it on their shelves. It was DVDs, and this was 1997. Like, this is like DVDs just started. And we knew like when things would come out. Like, I knew Ghostbusters was coming out on the 24th. So 1 week before.
Yeah, I mean,
7th, I would just go there. I'd pick it up off the shelf. I'd buy it and then walk out. No discussion. And I got to watch Ghostbusters on DVD a week early. Very, very exciting.
This will wrap up our Star Trek talk. Bob also writes a lot when he's talking about things he cares about. He says, yes, the Next Generation doesn't get good till season 3. No shock, early episodes you found dull. But the fact you found Voyager less dull is more shocking. I'm a hardcore Trek fan, but it's the only Trek I haven't finished. I keep falling asleep, no joke, but trust me, season 3 onward of Next Generation has great stuff, but glad you enjoyed original series.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And I'm like I said, I am going to go through Next Generation, but I refuse to start at season 3. So once I'm done with Voyager, I'll probably start into that. So I'll get there. Listen, this is a dude who's been alive for coming up on 44 years. And I just started Star Trek during quarantine. So I got a lot of catching up to do, but I'm going to get through it for sure.
That's right. It's your birthday next month.
Yeah.
And there's a whole catch-22 about everything in the world right now, because I've never been able to go to your birthday party because it's always like the same day that the Doctor Who convention, Gallifrey 1, is happening.
Right.
And I was just playing Xbox with my guys from Minnesota last night, and we're having a lot of fun. But I'm like, man, I would love to just drive across the country, because it's always been I can never get time off to go home, and now I have all the time in the world. But I go home and you can't do nothing.
Right.
Yeah, do nothing.
Right. I've been buying records. I'm so sick of fucking TV and video games. So we got a record player for our anniversary back in April, and it came in May, and I've just been doing that. Like I've been podcasting and listening to records. And
I'm sorry. I just why Bob's right. He compares your Star Trek journey to my James Bond journey.
yeah, it all got dumped in your lap.
Yeah. You say you're playing video games. What video games?
Still just Animal Crossing.
Really?
There's a golf game I play on my Switch, and that's pretty much it. But I'm so tired of it. Like, I'm so tired of just video games and TV shows. I'm thinking I'm thinking up next I'm gonna watch Barry. We haven't watched Barry.
Oh, I love Barry.
Yeah, that's all I hear is it's great. And we just finished lunch. We started Ted Lasso for the second time. So there's that. Ted Lasso is awesome.
Really?
Ted Lasso is great.
All right, it's on my list. I'll add it.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, we got what do they call it? Apple One. So we had where it comes with like the fitness app and the Apple Music and Apple Plus and Arcade and all this stuff. And so, yeah, first thing we did was watch Ted Lasso. Watched it in about a day. I think it's 10 episodes. We watched it in about a day. It's really good. It's weird because it's Jason Sudeikis as a football coach who gets hired by a soccer team in England. So it's going to be, he's Jason Sudeikis and it's wacky, and he's really good in it, and he's not a jerk. He's like the most positive guy on the planet, and everybody hates him, but he's just a good dude. And he's like, what are you going to do? I can't recommend it enough. I think you'll like it. We just finished Schitt's Creek for the second time.
I just started Schitt's Creek, like really started.
Yeah.
That's one of the things, like if I'm alone, like all I do when I'm home is I generally play video games.
Yeah.
And I'll be playing, I'll be shooting zombies or whatever, and I'll have the iPad or whatever playing Schitt's Creek or whatever, and that so that's fun.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's like, I think it's fine. I think Schitt's Creek is fine. I'm sure it gets better and better, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to like the characters, and I think it takes a little bit to kind of get used to them. My mom shut it off right away because Chris Elliott's name came on screen, and she can't stand Chris Elliott for some reason. That's it. Deal breaker.
He's his own thing, and I get it. Obviously, you and I love him.
Right.
Bob,
I love him.
Bob says Barry's fantastic. Screenmaster 5K Ian says he wants to watch Ted Lasso so badly, but I cannot commit to another subscription. And
check a free trial, because if the free trial is like even 7 days, you're going to get through the show. Trust me.
And then he follows up. He says, this is a good question for you guys. How many subscriptions do you have currently? That's a very good question.
So when we little time after we moved to this apartment, we used to get DirecTV, the satellite dish, but there was a tree blocking our view of the southern sky or whatever we needed. So we cut our cord because we were spending like $125 or something for cable and internet. It was through the roof. So we just got the Apple TV, and we have, let's see here, Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max. I just canceled my DC Universe, Prime, and Apple Plus. 5? Is that right? 5? Netflix. Yeah, we have 5 of them.
Have you done the math on that? Are you all right with the amount?
Oh, totally. Yeah, it was something like before HBO Max, we had HBO Go, and I think we're saving something like $80 or something.
Okay, yeah,
but we watched Apple Plus the least. But that comes with the fitness app, which Stevie uses every day. It hooks to her watch, and she could watch the exercises on screen and go along with the exercises, and all of her vitals or whatever the watch is like pulling, like it's putting it up on the screen and stuff. It's pretty
that's
cool.
crazy. I love it.
Yeah. And then I've been using the Apple Music like crazy. So the Apple One has been we've been getting good use out of it, but we just don't watch Apple Plus that much. I think we want to watch the Beastie Boys documentary. Stevie watches Dickinson, which seems like a lot of fun, but yeah, there's also, what's nice is there's a lot of free stuff. So I still watch Pluto,
Hmm.
and there's like Tubi and there's other stuff, but that's pretty much it.
Well, I got Netflix.
Mhm.
I do have Prime. My brother has a Hulu account that he has an account set up for me, so I'm not paying for that. Same with HBO Max. He can have people on that. I also have the Apple TV, simply because I think I bought a new Apple TV in the last year. So I bought some.
You get like a year of it.
I got a year. Same here. Apple TV is the thing I watch least. It the guys from Sunny. Oh, and Disney Plus. Yes, thank you, Ian.
Oh, Disney Plus, I forgot about that. Also, you have something else. I'm pretty sure you still have it.
What's that?
The network.
Oh yes, yeah. WWE Network, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
So I have like 7, I think. Forgot about Disney Plus.
a few, but a
Even though
couple.
like Mando was so huge, I completely forgot I had Disney Plus.
I was actually thinking about canceling Disney Plus for a while anyway, but it's just, it's $6 a month,
Yeah, it's cheap.
6 or 7. I
Any
don't know what
interest?
I'm going to watch.
WandaVision comes out on Friday. Any interest in that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but I think I might watch it. Probably for Screen Geeks. I'm sure Jay's going to want to talk about it, but we'll see. I'm not. I mean, we're not going to get rid of Disney Plus. We'll watch stuff every now and then.
Hackman watched For All Mankind on Apple. I don't even know what that is. Did you like it?
It is For All Mankind.
Yeah.
I know there's a thing called The Right Stuff. Is For All Mankind like? I remember the old movie For All Mankind. It was a space movie, and then I'm assuming this is some sort of astronaut documentary. I could be wrong. I'm trying to think.
Right. I'm sure Hackman's typing his answer now. I guess I could.
I think it might be.
Oh wow!
It might be a drama series. I'm assuming it's about astronauts.
He got it from. He copied and pasted from Wikipedia. It is a science fiction show. Okay. Oh, okay. The series dramatizes an alternate history depicting what would have happened if the global space race had never ended after the Soviet Union succeeded in the first crewed moon landing ahead of the United States. And I'm assuming it's good, Otto?
I think so. He brought it up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I want to check that out.
The video games just for a minute. I'm going to sneeze. I feel a sneeze.
Oh,
there it is. Okay. So the guys and I back home are my Minnesota guys, Jake, Jeremy, and Joe. The only reason I bought this Xbox One S, which they actually paid for my birthday, they were like, "Hey, it's quarantine. We're shooting zombies again." So they bought me an Xbox, which is awesome.
Cool.
And we do it all the time. But the new Cold War, they gave us one zombies map, and this is back in November, and we're like, "We're done with it. We're done with it. We've done it every which way except for the stupid tiny little Easter eggs we don't want to do." So we're waiting for a new zombies map. There is other stuff. We do Warzone, which I finally got a hang of, because Warzone, it can be pretty tricky. It can be pretty tricky. Really enjoying Warzone. There's a game where the Foria, it's plunder. You go into buildings and the map is huge. It's enormous. And whoever collects the more money is the winning team. We really like that. But sometimes we get tired of that and we play Rocket League, which is
it's like soccer with cars.
Exactly. And we'll play against each other 2-on-2, and we laugh a lot. We laugh a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot of crazy, stupid turns and twists you take.
Is there a Ghostbusters vehicle you can play as?
If there is, I don't know about it, but it's probably not
Okay.
super fast. You need a fast car. So we're really enjoying that. But hopefully we get a new zombies map soon.
Yeah. I haven't played anything online. Yeah, and I don't see anything in the future. I think the next video game that I care about is the Lego Skywalker Saga. Those are fun. Me and Stevie play those together.
Well, now there was just an announcement for Indiana Jones, and I remember playing the Indiana Jones game on my Amiga. I really liked it.
This probably won't be like that.
Probably not. And I guess Lucasfilms, I mean, speaking of games, they just put out a big trailer that I didn't watch, just talking about a new era in video games, right? Did you watch that trailer?
Yeah, Lucasfilm Games.
Does it look pretty inspiring?
I don't know. I just know it's Lucasfilm Games. I'm assuming they'll have Star Wars and Indiana Jones will be part of that. And
I apologize if we've talked about this before, but Cobra
Okay.
Kai, you've watched, yeah?
Yeah, I'm current.
Okay, yeah, well, we just finished season 3 too. What a blast.
Yeah, that's good.
What a blast.
Yeah.
We kind of didn't really put a button on it, but the last Blockbuster documentary, it was like, what, it was like $10?
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't purchased it yet.
It's a easy watch. It's so
Yeah.
easy, and it's neat to watch.
Yeah, I'll pick it up probably this weekend. It's usually when I buy stuff is when I'm like have time to watch it. I'm gonna sit down and watch a movie. But a lot of times I've been doing writing and podcasting, and so.
Sorry, I meant Hackman is 260 and a half hours into Cyberpunk 2077. I'm assuming that you have a machine that can handle it, because they stopped selling that, right? Didn't there was a big issue with Cyberpunk 2077?
That's what I heard. I heard that, and I think, I don't know. I have no idea. I see people playing it and making fun of it. I see people playing it and saying it's awesome, so I have no idea.
Hackman, what system you got? He says people on Xbox and PlayStation were having problems, but I think if you get the new ones, the Xbox X and the PlayStation 5, I think those are fine.
Okay.
Places on Stadia. I don't know what the hell that is.
No idea.
I've never heard of Stadia. Is it kind of like Stream?
It's like a PC thing?
Maybe it's a PC thing. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Google Stadia. It's on the cloud. I only have one more thing, and I think it's something we actually already talked about. Have we talked about Orange Cassidy? Have I sent you any clips about Orange Cassidy?
I don't know what that is, so probably not.
Orange Cassidy is a wrestler, and I'm going to send you
okay.
and your wife and Stevie. I'm going to send them, and Sarah. I'm going to send you a clip of Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy just doesn't care. He's like, whatever. He's got a.
Wait, is he the guy? Is he the guy with the hands in his pockets?
Yes.
Yes, I did. You did send me that. It was a while ago.
Okay.
Okay, keep on going, because I need to know more, because I don't think I followed up in the text.
Well, he's on AEW every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: I really enjoy Orange Cassidy, and I really enjoy, Hackman says he was great before COVID. He needs the live audience, and he's right. So obviously every wrestler has their music, and you can't use licensed music because it costs a lot. But before Orange Cassidy came to AEW, he used Jane by Jefferson Starship as his entrance music. And I enjoy Jane by Jefferson Starship. I enjoy Orange Cassidy, but you put that shit together and I need to buy the t-shirt. And I think Tony Khan, who is the owner of AEW, he was talking about licensing that song. And I think that's all I need to need to buy his t-shirt, is those things together. It's a great combination. He bought, there's a wrestler called Jungle Boy. And what is the song? What is the song? I think there's a song, Jungle Boy, like a classic song that he's going to buy the rights for.
Cool.
Um,
I don't know the last time I watched wrestling.
yeah, the Rumble's coming up pretty soon.
When's that? Oh, that's between the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl. It's the bye week. It's the weekend, the Sunday between the last playoff game and the Super Bowl. So that should be like want to
It's the
say
31st.
February 1st or something.
Yeah, it's the day before that. It's the January 31st.
Got it.
So we'll see.
I'll watch it.
It is weird to be watched because they put in chants now too. Like you've seen the video. They got the video screens all around.
The Thunderdome or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. And they've put in audience reactions, which is weird, but it's understandable. I think the NFL does it too. Jungle Boy is Luke Barry's kid. In case you didn't know. You probably didn't. But it's weird when they'll put in chants that are like, "This is awesome." It's like, okay, well now
you get to choose when it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like is Vince just hitting that button nonstop?
Right. It is helpful though, because sometimes like I don't know who's supposed to be the good guy and the bad guy when the Fiend is facing Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps because they boo when Randy Orton comes out and they when the Fiend comes out. So right. I think that's all that I have. Do you have any other thoughts?
No. I rewatched Green Lantern, the animated series again on HBO Max. If you haven't watched Green Lantern, the animated series, I think it's fantastic. Watching it this time around after watching Star Trek, it's definitely got a Star Trek influence to it. It feels like Star Trek and Star Wars and superheroes all rolled into one. So if you haven't seen the show and you have HBO Max, give it a shot. The animation is 10 years old, so it looks a little bit crude and simple, but I think the story is good enough to keep your attention. So I recommend it.
I remember you had me watch that and I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah. Other than that, no.
I'll check out Ted Lasso for sure.
I think you'll love it.
I think you'll love it. Jason Sudeikis is great. Yeah. He's very likable to watch and like everything he's in.
It's an oddly good-natured show. Like he's really a positive character and nothing ruffles his feathers. So everything just rolls off his back. He's got anytime anyone says something shitty to him, he has like some sort of weird wise like retort back that just washes over his back.
You know, we should backtrack because Ian just pointed out something something that I really like. The news about Spider-Man's going to have all 3 versions in there. I think that's great. I love it. And I put out too. I was like, they're going full the 3 doctors on this. And it is. It's like an anniversary special of Doctor Who where they get all the other doctors in. And
I want to say that Sam Raimi, who's directing the next Doctor Strange movie, is setting up the multiverse. So maybe we'll get Tobey Maguire showing up in Doctor Strange.
That would be neat.
Because Sam Raimi, yeah, that would be cool. I'm fired up for that, man. I think Doctor Strange is the next Marvel thing I'm excited for. I love Sam Raimi. He's great.
I definitely do.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched all of Ash versus Evil Dead, and I think
neither have I. I should watch it.
It's on Netflix now.
Yeah, I should watch it.
I don't think did one of us say, all right, let's do a podcast?
No.
Man, what is this? 160 episodes. We've said it every time.
This is episode 155.
155. Okay.
Whoa. Oh well.
I guess.
If you want to listen to those 154 episodes, go to allrightpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at allrightpodcast. And yeah.
Thanks for everybody for joining us in the chat. This is fun. It's fun and easy to do. So maybe this will be standard going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll post this up on YouTube and it'll go out to your ears like normal. But yeah, the next time we do this, we'll put a call out. So keep an eye on those feeds and we'll let you know when to join us.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. All right. Let's stop doing a podcast.
All right.